Welcome back to my channel. I am really excited for what we're going to be talking about today, which is surgery to increase your height. So when I was 12, I was approached by a modeling agent who had represented Brooke Shields, Hillary Rhoda, and said that he saw that I had a lot of potential. But at that time, of course, only being 12, I hadn't gone through puberty yet, so I was still pretty short. I was around 5'4", and he said, look, you have a lot of potential, let's do some print work for now. And, you know, through puberty, if you're able to get to 5'8", then that's when we can really start booking you. Spoiler alert, I never naturally had that growth spurt up to 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", the kind of heights that, you know, models on the runway typically are. Naturally, I was only able to inch my way up another 2 inches after puberty, all the way up to 5'6". But I really wanted to do modeling, so I began considering other options of how could I work around that so I could still do modeling. And I came across something that is rather controversial, but is doable, to add 6 inches of height to your stature, and that is limb lengthening surgery. I was able to come across a doctor who specializes just in this, and how the surgery works is that a rod is inserted into the bone of either the femur in your hip or in kind of those where your calf is, like the shin bones. And what it is it's a little metal rod that is adjustable, so it's able to slowly open up and be able to make your bones longer, because the nerves and everything are healing as this kind of rod is opening, so it's actually elongating the bones in either your hip bone or in your shin bones to be able to actually add height. So you can do 3 inches from either the hip bone or 3 inches from more of the shin bone, or you can do both of them together to give you a grand total of 6 inches. Now, the only people that I saw doing the surgery were men. There weren't any women that I could find who had done the surgery, but it makes sense because I know with a lot of the guy friends that I have, they say that it can be really difficult to date if you're, you know, quote unquote short king, that women can be really judgmental about height. And so those were a lot of the men that I saw who were doing the surgery were men who were pretty short. I mean, shorter than I was, you know, around 5'3", 5'4", even 5'5", and doing the surgery just so they're able to be taller. And honestly, I 100% get that. Nobody likes to be made fun of for not being tall. I know a lot of men say that if they're not tall enough, they don't feel as confident, like in the workplace. There's studies that show that men who are taller are more likely to get a job as opposed to a candidate who maybe has the same potentials but appears taller, more masculine, more take charge. And I think that's awful. It's really annoying to feel like something that you can't control, like your height, keeps you from opportunities. And that's what I felt like with my modeling, is that I didn't want something that I couldn't control to affect something that I did want. But recovery is really tough. I don't know if you remember, like as a kid going through growth spurts and you get those really bad like growing pains in your legs. I remember mine were super bad. I would like cry for, I remember like days. There was like a week straight where I just couldn't get out of bed because my legs hurt so bad. So imagine that times 10 for the limb lengthening surgery, because really truly you are taking all the muscles, the bone, everything in your body, and you're literally stretching it out. So it is a really hard recovery. You can't even walk without a walker, without assistance for months. So it's a really grueling surgery that requires a lot of physical therapy after, and really like a baby giraffe, like learning how to actually walk again. Another deterrent that people have from doing the surgery is cost. Obviously, this is not going to be something covered by insurance, which I've learned with my other surgeries. They are just cosmetic procedures, so unless there's a real health reason that you're having to do the limb lengthening surgery, then this is something you're gonna have to pay out of pocket, including medications, including hospital stay, including physical therapy. And just the surgery on its own is around $100,000. Yeah, it's a pretty penny. So you would have to really be making a huge sacrifice, and this would have to be something that really means that much to you to literally drop $100,000 to have this done. So at the end of the day, after taking all these things into consideration, really the main reason that I didn't do the surgery is because of the scarring. The scarring on the legs is pretty extensive, and I figured taking your best bet as a shorter model, doing print and catalog work without giant scars across your leg would probably be more likely than being tall and having all of these awful scars all over my leg. So for me, it really wasn't an option at the end of the day that I was willing to risk and willing to do to be able to get the height that I wanted. But for a lot of people, it is really worth it, and they do take that leap because some scarring on the leg is so much more worth it than not being able to be the height that they want. And at the end of the day, if you're going to have plastic surgery done, you have to do it for you. It can't be because you want girls to like you. It can't be because, you know, you're doing it for somebody else or a significant other. It has to be because this is something that you truly feel is gonna make you confident and is gonna make you happy. But don't do it if you're feeling pressured by somebody else. I mean, for me, all of the work that I got done was after I was married, and my husband was not really into me doing that. He said, you know, I don't want you to change anything about yourself, but it's something that I really wanted. And so don't do it if you feel like someone's pushing you into it. You have to do it if you feel like it's something that you really want. Can you hear my dog screaming? That's my pug. The most important thing really is just to remember how beautiful you are on the inside, because you can add, oh my gosh, you can add height, you can add lips and volume to your face, you can take away volume from your face and your body, but at the end of the day, you are absolutely absolutely perfect and beautiful. I cannot with my dog, so I'm gonna wrap up the video now. But remember how loved you are. I love you. I am so happy that you're here, and this is always gonna be a safe space for you. Until next time.